So good afternoon, guys. I'm excited to be back with you this week, give you some training, give you some insights into how you can use your codependency to create confidence, how codependency is not the end game in your life, especially when it comes to healing, because healing's a complicated thing sometimes for us. We tend to think that healing means I need to fix everything in me and then I'll be happy. If I get past this trauma, then I can go and get the love of my life, or I can have the career I want, or build the business I dream of, or go on vacation, or buy the car I've been looking at, or go to that concert, or blah, blah, blah. We use healing as a barrier to our actual happiness, to our brilliance. Very, very important, because when we do this, we're actually inhibiting our healing, because healing is not fixing anything. I don't approach healing from the point of view of there's something wrong with you, let's fix it. That's I would put that on the narcissistic scale of perception there. Healing is more about going, well, this hurts. What is the need? Get the need met, and then who am I after that need is met? And let's discover who we are without the need in the way, right? Because when the need's satisfied, then we're free to play. We're free to get out there and explore and develop and accomplish things. And I call this living from your brilliance. And that's what I do, guys. I help you connect back with your brilliance. That brilliance can show up in your relationships, in your health, in your wealth, your well-being, purposes, whatever it might be. And I love working with people who've dealt with narcissistic abuse and codependency, because we're some of the most brilliant people out there. Our brains have connected us to our brains have used our brilliance rather to navigate this impossible maze of satisfying a narcissistic or abusive person and trying to get our need for love and validation met. So we're really already attuned to that magic in our thinking and in our awareness. We just need to direct it in a way that brings what we want into our lives. And that's what it's all about. So with this question, where will you go when you're healed? Most people don't actually take time to think about that. They don't take the onus to sit back and say, where am I going? Where would I like to be? What would I like to accomplish? Hi, Stephanie. And thank you, yes. What is it I'm doing this for, right? What is it you guys are doing it for? Several of you have worked with me personally. Why are you wanting to heal? What's the big end game you're seeking? What is calling you out to connect with your own betterness or freeness from pain or trauma or shame or guilt? What is it that's there? And it's not usually an intellectual thing. Our gift with being analytical can really rob us of this awareness. This is something that comes from within us. This is why we need to know our voice, right? We need to know what it sounds like, what it feels like, what it's saying to us, and then we need to follow it. We need to allow it to paint a vision for us that's governed by our anchored sense of value, the fact that we're intrinsically worthy and whole as we are. And it's not something intellectual again. This comes from the heart. It comes from the emotional aspect of ourself that says, yes, I feel that. This is something I know and believe within me, rather than just intellectually. So this is the question: where will you go when you're healed? Is it a relationship? Is it a business? Or is it more of an energy, an essence, right? Now, this is what I love so much about the Brilliance Mastermind and what I teach in the more advanced courses, is that when we tap into the essence of what we desire, the energy of it, the way it feels, then life becomes extremely simple to execute, because what we do is we follow that energy, and then we connect, receive the results that start showing up as we embody and practice being that version of ourselves within that energy or emotion. This is one of the magical things that, and I like that, magical as in the aspect of, wow, this really does behave and operate differently than I ever expected it to. Not magic as in, oh, I'll do nothing and nothing will show up. It's more like, what does life start to do, and who do I become when I'm deeply and committedly and sincerely aligned with the energy of what I want to experience, whether that's joy or peace, play, or rest, or love, or friendship, or attention, validation. Maybe it's a big success. Maybe it's a change in career. Maybe it's making, maybe it's play. Like what would I like to do that would bring me a lot of joy? Things like that. This is us tapping into that brilliance we intrinsically have, but we have not been able to tune into because we've been stuck in survival mode dealing with the narcissistic, avoidant, or manipulative people that have been in our lives. See, guys, my big goal is to take you from codependency to brilliance, to help you on your terms, in your experience, actually witness through your own real-time, real-world, tangible experience that you truly are brilliant, that you are worth knowing, loving, and keeping. And then you can grow a life you like to live from that. So that question is really powerful when we start leaning out of our condition, like I'd like to be safe. Well, yeah, that's a fundamental. That's a lot of times where we want to be. We want to be secure financially. We want to be secure emotionally. We want to be secure relationally, right? Those are primary needs being met. But where do we go beyond that? What calls to us beyond this idea of just getting our safety needs met? Who are we when those things are fulfilled? What calls to us? What's within us that wants to be expressed, that wants to be contributed? These are the questions that are going to expand you beyond the concept of what do I do when I'm healed, right? Because if we're just doing this work of releasing trauma and getting connected back to ourselves just to get there, then we may get lost along the way. Because healing is it's a stage of your life. It's not your whole life. Okay? Healing is it's a component of your own expression, and it's part of the journey towards more of that brilliance that you truly are. So guys, where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? Not just when you're healed, but when that's behind you. Where do you see yourself ending up? Where would you like to be? What would you really like to experience? And take it from that angle of experience. It'll be a lot easier to determine what brings you alive, because now you're not dealing with forms. You're not out there dealing with, well, I want this particular car, I want to go to this particular place, I want to have this particular person, blah, blah, blah. It's more like, I want to feel a certain way. One of my mentors, Corey Michelle, she says, she calls them energetic priorities. These are dominant ways we want to feel on a regular basis. And those energies, those emotions also align with people, places, and things that inspire and amplify those as well. So that's the big question here. Where will you go when you're healed? Who will you be? Who do you want to be? What do you want to feel? What do you want to experience? For me personally, I'm a big fan of capability, of play, and of freedom. I always want more freedom. Freedom to be me, freedom to express myself as I am, but also freedom to succeed in the way that really matters to me, like both financially, business-wise, relationally, play-wise, succeed with my children, with my relationships, with people I care about. Very important that I have freedom to express and succeed in those things my way. It's really, really important for me, because I don't necessarily work the same way other people do. And that's part of my brilliance, in that I approach things from different angles that allow us allows me to succeed and allows my clients to succeed. That's one thing that makes me unique in the world of healing, is I don't approach it from a clinical model. I approach it from a needs basis, and I don't see things the way other people do. And that's made a huge difference in the success rates my clients experience. Like 92% of them experience a fundamental change in their life, not just in how they feel about themselves, but in how they relate to themselves and then the relationships they have. Because the number one thing my clients tell me they want are healthy relationships. They just want to love and be loved for who they are and love the other person for who they are. And they get to experience that. Because I have a number of clients who are married now in very healthy relationships. A lot of them are coupled in healthy relationships. And so it's a dominant success. Another one is money. Financial well-being is a big deal for us because when we have financial security, it gives us a lot of power to do a lot of different things in our world. And so building out our wealth brilliance is a biggie. And I get really deep in that within the Brilliance Mastermind. They'll be opening up here in a few weeks. And that's kind of why I'm talking about this, is if you are resonating with this, if you're drawn to this, if you're like, yes, I want to know more about my brilliance, I want to know more about what I get to contribute to the world, what I get to create, who I get to be, and I want to know how to know that, I want to know how to experience that and how to refine that. That's what the Brilliance Mastermind does over a 12-month period. I only open it up once a year for enrollment outside of completion of the Codependency Confidence System or my upcoming 9-week course, Brilliantly You, Igniting Your Value, Voice, and Vision for Your Life. So that'll be opening up here. If you're interested in it, keep an eye out because the link to apply will be coming out here in about a week. There's only 25 spots available for it as well, so you got to jump in on that. But what I want you to think about is your brilliance. Who could you be? Who do you want to be? What do you see yourself doing if you didn't have the trauma in the way? If you didn't have to compensate for the codependency? If you didn't have the shame or the fear or the confusion about what you want? If you didn't have to figure it out? Instead, you got to listen and receive. What would that be like for you? What would you be doing with your life with that kind of ability to go, I know what I want, and then you can, because you know how to know what you want. You know how to know your voice. You know how to draw in the relationship or the career or the business. Or sometimes it's just as simple as I would like to go out to dinner with a friend, and poof, you get to go do that. Either you're inspired to call a particular person or they call you. You know, it can be really, really effortless for us. But most of all, a lot of times people use this with purpose. Like, what is my purpose? What am I here to create? What do I want to contribute? That's the brilliance of this. So if you are drawn to this, then keep your eye out for this because I'm going to be talking more about how we approach this in the Brilliance Mastermind and giving you a personal invitation to apply to it. Otherwise, guys, what I want you to think about is where will you go when you're healed? Where are you taking your life? Why are you doing this work? What's happening for you here so that you can do it? You know, what's the point of your healing? And share with me below what it is for you. I want to know what you are looking to get out of your healing. Why are you doing it? Why are you motivated to do it? Why do you watch my videos or other people's videos on this? What's driving you? What's calling you? And if you don't even have like a description of it, write down the word, like, tell me what it feels like. Because a lot of times that's where our insight starts to expand. It's like, well, I want to feel joy, for instance, or I want to feel love or peace or excitement. So share below. Let me know. So tomorrow I'm going to talk more about this, but today I wanted to start you off with a question this week is, where will you go when you're healed? One thing you can do with this, if that question, is write down the answers that immediately show up in your mind and then continue to let yourself simmer on the question. Because a lot of times our brain will give us instant answers and we think those are the right answers or the answers we really want. But as we lean into the question, we discover something deeper about ourselves. I typically ask myself why 3 times. Why do I want, like, where will I go with my healing? Well, I'll go towards, bigger business success, bigger impact, helping more people. Why do you want to do that, Marshall? Well, because it brings a lot of purpose and meaning in my life. And why do you want that? Because I really like accomplishing systems and making a change. And why do you want to do that, Marshall? And it's really like, because I feel alive doing that. And there you go. That's my why. I feel alive doing that. So go with it. Let me know what you find, guys, and I will see you in tomorrow's training, where we're going to jump in a little bit more into the relevance of codependency to brilliance and what's in your way of tapping into your brilliance and how we can start to make that simple, fast, and fun for you. Okay? Again, guys, I appreciate you being here, and remember that you're worth knowing, loving, and keeping. If you're looking for a community that can support you in breaking out of your codependency and into your own value, voice, and vision for your life, join the community. It's linked above. If you're on Facebook, it's linked below. If you're on YouTube, you can also join Codependency to Confidence. Take my workshop. It's also linked above and below. And again, thank you for showing up. I'll see you guys tomorrow. You have a great day.